this happens as soon as you have a second child, like all of a sudden you are experiencing birth order. Like every one of your kids is having a different experience of your family. And a huge part of that experience is by the nature of when they were born in the family. And this is really weird to culture today because we are so hyper individualistic that we hate that there's anything, whether it's our gender or whether, it's anything that we would like, that's imposed upon us. But here's something that is imposed upon each of our children. You are the firstborn, you are the second, you are the third, you are the last. And so, yeah, how have you guys thought through this and experienced this? And I'd love to just kind of to wrestle through with you, like what does this mean for a family?
Yeah, I would say that I tell our oldest daughter that the Lord put her and all my kids, the Lord put you, He knows the number of hairs on your head. He knows everything about you. He was very intentional by gifting us the placing you in this family.
Mm.
And Naya, He's made you the oldest for a reason, and that is a gift. You'll get all the money first. I'm just joking. But he but you have a responsibility to be an example
Yeah.
to your siblings and to take responsibility. And, our kids go to public school, and I think she's felt some pressure with that to be perfect.
Mm.
But I think a lot of times pressure is a gift. And it's you take that and it's like, okay, I want to be the best example for my family. And you see that in the Bible. And also, and I say this jokingly, but the Lord will skip over you and give the blessing to your
Right.
little sister. But it's, I think it's a subject matter that well, I don't hear talked about enough. But then also with younger siblings, you give respect and reverence to your older sister because she's going to do the best she can to take care of you guys. And one day in the future, when me and your mom are gone, she's going to be a leader in this family.
Mm.
And so I think it's the Lord has given us systems and technologies that we overlook to give us order in our families, just like the Sabbath, just like marriage, just like the week we have. And I think birth order is one of those too. To understanding your birth order and your role in the family, and you're all supporting one another. You're not, hovering, trying to be a ruler. So it's been incredible. And then for all the other ones, it's you're looking after the little one and the one after that and the one after that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's a really tricky topic. You see the whole book of Genesis is like one giant story of wrestling with birth order, and one of the things that you could easily take from Genesis in every single case, right? You've got the younger, that basically is being chosen over the older. And so you could look at that
Yeah.
and say, okay, it happened with Ishmael, Isaac, it happened with, Jacob and Esau, it happened with Joseph and his brothers. But you could say, well, apparently God doesn't care about birth order. Apparently God just likes to violate birth order. Or maybe you could even derive the principle that the younger is somehow got a better position. But then in the Torah, when God actually he actually unveils legislation, he defends
Mm.
in the legislation that there is a special position for the firstborn. And so I don't think that I think that he was demonstrating his sovereignty and his grace, over this family through constantly violating what was the natural order. And so I think it gives us this really interesting dynamic in every family, which is that I think there's a natural order to every family, and that we have to be aware of what that is. And I think almost every ancient culture understood this. This is something that again has been kind of lost, both because we have smaller families today and because we actually hate this idea because it imposes something upon us, a role that maybe we didn't choose. So part of the reality is there's a naturalness to this birth order, but then there's also the sovereignty of God and the fact that He's going to, call out each of your children, give them different gifts, give them different callings, and that the family itself is going to need to be aware of those things and make sure that, as we honor the natural birth order, we're not somehow violating something that God's trying to do with our kids. So there's a weird way in which I think we have to hold this topic, which is really challenging.